Hello, beautiful Seren stars, and welcome to today's readings. We have three piles and three pathways for you to choose from. But before we begin, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone across the globe. I know we have different dates across the world when we celebrate Mother's Day, but in the UK at the moment it is Mother's Day. So just sending out love to those who perhaps haven't got their mothers or mother figures with them anymore on earth. So I'm sending you a huge bunch of colourful, beautiful flowers and their love your way. And I send this to anyone who perhaps hasn't had a positive motherly connection or love on earth. I send my love to you too. I have some understanding of that. I also want to send love to all those beautiful, fantastic, devoted mothers out there across the world. We don't get a book to tell us how to navigate this role. There's no pay for it. It's just, you are mother and you carried this beautiful baby, and then it's like, sometimes, especially with your first child, it can be quite daunting, but nevertheless still a beautiful experience. So I just want to tell you that you're not alone, and you are thanked for the love that you pour into your children and the devotion. And you recognize, and just to say Happy Mother's Day to you too, and also to fathers that have taken on that role. If the mother is absent for any reason, we want to thank you on this special day, and that you are recognized also, and anyone else who may fit into that carer role. Okay, so lots of love to you all. So let's get on to your piles you have to choose from today. So pile pathway number 1, you have the Hanged Man. Pile pathway 2, you have the Four of Pentacles. Pile pathway 3, you have the Wheel and the Wheel of Fortune. So you can pause the video and take a closer look and just focus in and decide which card you feel the most drawn to. Maybe you feel drawn to more than one. Sometimes the readings can flow into the others and have messages for you in the other readings. Again, I just want to thank you all for being here with me and Spirit today on these readings. And as always, after you picked your pile, we shuffle some cards together, and then we take some charms together. And then as a spiritualist medium, I tune in and see what messages come through from Spirit, my Spirit team, and the cards. Okay, I will see you in your reading. Hello, this is future me just popping in. I had some technical difficulties, so pile 1 will be uploaded today. For pile 2 and pile 3, you're probably going to have to wait until tomorrow evening. So do remember to save and come back if you've chosen the other 2 piles. So thank you for being patient and bearing with me. It always happens, doesn't it, when you're keen to upload everything. Okay, I will see you in your next reading. God bless. Hello, beautiful Seren stars, and welcome to today's reading. So let's get into the very basic meaning first before we shuffle some piles together, and then I tune in of the Hanged Man. So the very basic meaning of this card is, new perspective on things. You can see him hanging upside down here, and as always I say, when I put him up not the right way, because his card goes the other way, he looks like a ballerina, doing a pirouette, which is equally as beautiful there. And it's about having patience and surrendering and letting go. And it can also be concerned about areas of enlightenment in your life. So we'll come back and tune into that, but we are going to shuffle some cards together. So how have you been this weekend? What have you been up to? Anything like exciting? I feel I need to inject some excitement into my life. I will be busier over the next coming month, so I'm kind of trying to get fitter for that and organised. Oh, that card flew out, so we're going to go with that. So have you got any exciting plans and things that you've been kind of working on and building on? Let's shuffle the next card. So Spirit and the cards, what messages do you have for people across the globe? Oh God, flying everywhere, but there was one in particular that jumped out. So excuse me while I just been up and down like a yo-yo today. Right, and this card, I have seen it. No doubt I'll forget because with my brain and how it is. But we've pulled that one quite a few times, so it's very interesting. Right, let's shuffle the next card. So Spirit and the cards, what messages do you have for people across the globe today? We've got the beautiful sun shining in. It's been raining today. I did go for a walk in the rain and got absolutely soaked, which I don't mind. I love the rain. Yeah, the sun is just peeking through, which is a lovely sign for this reading here. There's always a silver lining, is the words that I'm seeing in my mind. Spirit and the cards, what messages do you have for people across the globe today to help them on their earthly journey? I like them to just fly out, not on the floor, because I don't want to keep bending down and picking it up. I feel I've had my workout for today on my 45-minute walk. So it's all good. It's good to get out in the fresh air, isn't it? I'm going to take one because otherwise we will be here until tomorrow. Shuffling away. Okay. Let's tune in. Sorry, I'm just moving my chair. Sorry about the squeaking there. Let's tune into your card. I want to put him up the right way. I really do. I really want to put him up the right way. I'm going to put him up the right way as I'm tuning in. And it is about, having a different perspective. So here's one perspective who's upside down and seeing the world in that way. And it's bringing him up the right way is obviously a completely different perspective and a different way of looking at things. Okay. So I'm just going to tune in a bit more to this card. So Spirit and the cards, what images and messages can you give me related to what you want to relay? Telling me to focus. They give me the words mindset, which I was feeling already with this card, okay? And about changing your mindset around situation or situations. And as always, I say it's a general reading, so this could be in all different areas of your life, which is, personal romantic relationships. It could be a new project you're working on. It could be, connections with family. It could be moving to a new area. There's so many different facets of your life. It could be the way that you just feel about yourself. Could be a mixture of all of those things. It may be something specific you have in mind. And I forgot to say that, I leave it to Spirit and cards to give us whatever the message is before I get the topic. But if there's something in particular in mind that you wanted to think about, it's always a good idea before we start this reading. So there's a different mindset on whatever this situation is. So I'm seeing there was a new way of looking at things and the world around you. You may have been similar to me, finding the way that you think about certain things changing, either I'm seeing the words dramatically, or maybe it's like been a slow trickle over your life, or you've always felt a certain way but perhaps haven't lived a certain way. Like for me, this is no lecture, it's just an example. For me, I've never been keen on eating meat, mainly due to the, how animals are treated and stuff like that, because I'm a huge animal lover. So it's now for me, an incident happened, it's like that light bulb moment, something around me, and it's changed the way, my diet, and how I think about the world and what causes I support. So it doesn't have to be to do with this. This is just an example of how we can suddenly sort of change our way of being or thinking and feeling. Okay. So yeah, there may be something around you that, in order to get to a good place, or a place where you want to be, not only is it the physical things around you, it's your mindset, okay, and how you work through this and how you think about this. Okay, can you give me more to this message, please? I don't know why they're giving me the word hang and then hammock. I mean, I know this is the hanged man, but I'm seeing a hammock. And I'm seeing a man in a hammock. You could be male, female, non-identifying. It doesn't matter. Okay, and he does almost look like he's in a cocoon. And I'm seeing the words cocoon, okay, and the words bubble, like being in this bubble or something. And he's almost in a bubble here, isn't he? Although this looks like water, he's submerged in this bubble of water and cocooned. I'm seeing the word emerging, and it's almost like he is emerging up from the water, isn't he? You can imagine bursting through here out of this cocoon or this area, wherever he is. And you can see it's kind of dark around him, but here is the light we see. And I feel like he is going up, and I'm seeing him going up, and I'm also seeing this cocoon at the same time, and the word again, emergence and emerging. You may have been emerging or getting through a difficult period of your life. Large proportion of you may relate to that, but again, it may be linked to what I was saying, an example of you're completely changing your mindset or a way that you practice certain parts of your life, your actions, your core thoughts and your core actions from those thoughts aligning. And I'm seeing the word spirituality too, okay. It may not be on a huge spiritual scale for you. It could be smaller examples in your life where you're changing, you're evolving. I'm seeing the word evolving, changing as a person. Okay, some of you may be getting into fitness and taking care of yourselves. That could be an example of evolving and changing for the better. You may be coming out of a difficult relationship, that kind of bogged you down and held you back and suppressed you, is the words that I'm seeing here. And you're coming out of that. There's so many different facets to this message, okay, but it remains the same. I'm seeing the words out of the darkness as well. And again, submerging and emerging, okay. So maybe you have to dive deep inwards first. I'm seeing the words inwards, okay, and taking a good look. They're showing me a magnifying glass, a good look at yourself, a good look at the situation. So again, that would be analyzing it, wouldn't it, and a different perspective and different way of looking at it more closely. And then they're giving me bird's eye view, so now they're moving you out, now taking the outward look. So it's from all these different angles, looking at your life and looking at situations. I'm seeing the word what no longer serves you, okay. So it is cutting away and tying away, not that does not longer serve you for the betterment of you and earth and your family and all kinds of different areas that I'm seeing the words that prevents your progression, okay. Yeah, but there's just this huge shift and these huge changes. Also, planetary wise, we have an energy wise, we have huge shifts and changes across the world. They're giving me micro and macro, and I can't really remember what it means in sense with these big world things, but I will look that up and see the significance and pop that in there. I don't know why they give me the word noodle, which is quite specific, isn't it? I don't know what that correlates to. Noodle. I'll look that up and see if anything comes up. That's really interesting. Maybe it's a nickname some of you have. It could be something like that. It could be an acronym. See an acronym for something. But yeah, if I find anything on my research after, I'll pop that in there. But that's very specific, isn't it? Some things don't you always make sense to me at first, and you may be having that too in your life. It doesn't always make sense, and you're trying to understand it. They give me the words move forward, regardless, move forward, and keep going with whatever it is. Even if it can be, I'm seeing the words confusing at times. They're drawing me to the heart and the heart center. So again, as in other messages they've given me, as long as you are working, just checking my microphone there, working from the heart center. I'm just going to pop this microphone, or maybe that one's run out. Just pop that one back on. I have two just in case one runs out. So I do have to pause and keep an eye on them. Maybe I hadn't turned that one on. Yeah. So that's beautiful. That's lovely. I'm going to go on now to the next card. Which card shall we choose? Should I feel the most drawn to here? I'm going to go with this one. Going too fast, slow down, take your time. Usually I always feel the opposite to what this message is, okay? But I do feel, I'm seeing the word breather. I feel there's a lot of fast things are going to be coming up, okay? But I feel that each step of that, it's okay to take a break in between and take a breather in between and kind of slow your mind down and think of it, in a sensible way, because sometimes we can become, I'm seeing the words overwhelmed, and then our brains are going too fast and we can't sit and think about it and plan properly in the best way, or we can't analyze or see things from a different perspective in the best way, because there's just too much going on in our minds. It's like decluttering. I'm seeing the words our minds. It may also be decluttering your space. I have one particular room that I need to declutter, and I'm feeling a bit like that. So it could be decluttering in a literal sense, as in a room, like I'm thinking of. It could be decluttering as in people around you who perhaps create too much noise or create too much unsettledness, or perhaps not thinking of the best things for you. It could be doing things in a simpler way, and I'm seeing the words not making it complicated, okay? Not making life complicated. Again, that can be all different projects, relationships, work, college, uni, living environments, communication styles. There's so many different ways that this can be taken here. The messages are saying. Is there anything else that you can give me with this card? They give me the sound of a train. I don't know if new trains do that now, but choo choo. It's like something's coming. It's like something important is coming along. Okay, like this huge change in your life here. And they give me, don't worry, you're not going to miss it. Don't worry. That may make sense to some of you. You're not going to miss it. You're not going to miss it. What is meant for you, this opportunity is coming. Lovely is that. What card shall we go on to next? I'm going to go for this one. 8 of Autumn. I pull this quite a lot. It's obviously quite poignant and quite meaningful. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancements. And I was talking about looking at things in different ways and studying close up as well, and then from different perspectives and through research. It's always advisable not to look at, when you're researching, not looking at. Hello, welcome back. Beautiful pile number 2. Are we number 2 or are we number... No, we're beautiful pile number 1. I'm sorry, the confusion there, because I had no sound. My microphones had run out. And I was trying to fix the sound, thinking I'd somehow be able to get that back, which was a bit silly of me. And it's just started pouring rain or... hailstones or something. Maybe it's snow. I don't know. I don't keep up with the weather reports, but you may hear that thunder and noise in the background. So I'm going to shuffle another extra card for you, because I put the other card back in the pack. I could find it. I know which one it is, but you know what? We'll just shuffle another one together. So Spirit, and the cards. Can we have another card to go with pile number 1? In their reading. I was also partway through reading number 2, so I'm going to do that one again. But it's always good, you know, if something happens, and I've spoken, that one's coming out, so I'm going to go for that. You dust yourself back off, have a little bit of a rest and recoup if you need, and then you get back to it, you know. I think that's the way to do it. Sometimes it's too easy to go, that's obviously a sign I'm not meant to carry on, but maybe that's just our excuse sometimes, or at least it's mine anyway. Okay, so what we was talking about seeing things from a different perspective, and we was, you know, because the hangman goes like that, we were up this way and seeing things in a different way. We got through, I don't know if it was the 8 of Autumn, can't remember what the card was called. I know it was the parrot with the cage, and doing research and looking at things. I was saying, I believe before the sound went, looking at things from a different perspective. And like with research, you'll be looking at different people's researches and different styles of research and different evidence that's been gathered and different kind of experiments. You know, you just wouldn't go for one piece or one perspective, would you? Or one argument, okay, or one way of doing things. So I think that's very much bringing into this message is, you know, if you didn't work out doing it that way, then look at different ways to get to where you want to be or achieve like the outcome that you want in this situation or in your life. Okay, so it's very much about you know, not giving up and pressing forward. I'm sorry, it sounds like hailstones rather than rain. I mean, I love it, but it may interrupt our reading. So Spirit and the cards, is there anything else you can give me message wise to do with this relating to, you know, different perspectives and transformation and, you know, research? And I'd also seen the key, been given a key, and although the parrot felt trapped, he was never really trapped. And the key, I'm remembering they're showing me, reminding me, is also, you know, you have the key to change your life and unlock these different pathways. And knowledge, again, is the key, and with the research and looking at things differently, okay? And a different way of being and living your life, and even your core values. I'm seeing the word core values, maybe changing on this pathway in your life too. So how lovely is that? So we're going to go into the card, which will be your last card, because we'd already chosen you one. But we're going to see, wouldn't it be a surprise if we chose the same one? That would be a bit magical, wouldn't it? But oh, how lovely is that? It's a Prince of Autumn. Trustworthy, dedicated, protective, funny. What more would you want? A seahorse. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. And we're talking about, you know, looking into things and researching things and finding different ways of doing things. So that can be part of your detailed planning and taking you in this new endeavor, this new direction, okay? How lovely is that? I love the seahorse here and these coins here. This feels like abundance coming in and abundance again. We got the card of abundance in the reading too, and messages to do with that there. But again, I'd reiterate that abundance can be in all forms in your life, and growth in different areas of your life, not just necessarily to do with, you know, gold coins and your bank account there. Is there anything else that you can give me here? They're giving me accomplishments. I'm just seeing, yeah, we've got accomplished down here. Get as much accomplished as possible. But this feels like being in a space and floating in this space of, I've arrived, you know, and I am accomplished, and I have received from all my hard work. And this is not suggesting saying you have to watch pile number 2, but it very much links into that, because I'd already got, as I said, partway through pile 2 before the sound gave up and I hadn't realised. So how lovely is that? As I'm looking at this seahorse, the stomach is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm seeing the word birthing and new ideas, okay? And we was talking about new ways of thinking and new perspectives and new ways of seeing things. So I feel, even if you feel stuck, you know, this energy is coming in to show it's not going to be like that, and there are different ways of looking at things about how to change a situation or get out of a situation or improve a situation, whatever it is. You know, the message remains the same, but it can be all very different for each of you. Any other visuals you can give me? They show me the moon and the word button moon, and there was, I know it was a kids program. It's really old, so I don't know the significance of that. And I've seen lots of gold coins being thrown into like a lake, which we do for throwing into water and wishing wells for good luck. So I don't know if there's in your country, because I know we have people from different countries. Sorry, I'm covered in cat hair, so that you can see on my jumper. Well, it's not a jumper, it's a, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's something in between. So they're just showing me that. So I don't know if there's some kind of celebration coming up or going on at the moment, yeah, in a different country, and something to do with moon and celebration and throwing these coins and making like wishes and bringing in good luck, you know, and good energy. So maybe some of you are practicing that or going to be practicing those things too. And feng shui, they give me the word of feng shui. So, you know, that's working with energy, isn't it? And moving furniture about to open up, you know, the positive lines to energy and bringing in, yeah, abundance and good luck and a harmonious home and all those kinds of things. So yeah, let me know in the comments if that's quite significant for you. Give me the word energy work. So maybe some of you are getting into energy work, okay, which will also help to clear some of these blockages and maybe give you a fresh new perspective on ways of thinking. If we turn him upside down, you know, maybe some of you are going to be getting into yoga or Pilates or something to give you that new boost of energy and motivation, okay, on this new pathway. Is there anything else before I move on to the charms? Just lots of luck, and this just feels, I feel like high vibrational as I'm looking at. Oh, and I didn't notice it's like a pile of coins down here. This connects so much to the other card for pile number 2. Very similar. Okay, so let's shake the charms. And I had taken some charms, but we're going to take some more, which I believe was the balloon and a moon. So we're going to take some more. I'm looking the other way. Let's see what we get this time. Okay, we have the moon again. No way. The other one was, I'll put a clip of it in there, was a moon and a star, but it was a black moon and a star. Okay. I see the words, I love you to the moon and back, and we have Mother's Day today. We also have the heart here, okay? Let me just focus on these. Give me that fruition. It's coming to fruition. This new way of being, this new way of thinking, these new projects, the way you're navigating them, will be navigating them. It's helping things come into fruition here. But also they're giving me so much love to send your way, and again, I love you to like the moon and the stars and back and beyond. And maybe some of you had special things that you would say to family members, whether they're on earth or, you know, heaven's side. But there's so much love being sent through to you. So if any of you are having a difficult time at the moment, I really want to emphasize how much you are truly loved. How beautiful is that? Is there anything else that you can give me, Spirit, before I end this reading here? Go forth and multiply. And I was seeing the seahorse there, and the stomach growing, and all these baby seahorses I see now popping out. And they don't just pop out one, do they? They kind of There's a lot. So it feels quite solitary at the moment, but it's going to be surrounded with this, yeah, lots and lots of abundance and seahorses. That's fantastic. So that could mean all different kind of things, abundant relationships if you've been having difficulties, or business projects and you've been working hard on, or university projects you've been working hard on. Whatever it is a fantastic outcome. And I want to fill your reading with so much love and so much light and so many blessings. And I will see you in your next reading. God bless. Hello, beautiful pile, reading number 2, and you have the beautiful Four of Pentacles. Thank you for being here. Being here always is grateful. Oh, can't speak today. Grateful as always to have you watching these readings. This is a take 2 on pile number 2 because the sound went. My microphones went, so I had to start all over again on certain parts of pile 1 and now pile 2. So I had already turned over the card that we had shuffled together, but what I'm going to do is have 2 extra cards I'm going to shuffle together for you, and then our charms that we're going to take as usual. We're going to go for the very basic meaning of this card, okay, and then I'm going to, as a spiritual medium, tune in and see what messages the spirit and the cards give. Okay, so this card, the basic meaning, is a card of security and stability and successful accumulation, of wealth. Or it doesn't always have to be wealth. It can be all kinds of abundance in your life. You've worked hard to achieve this, and it's building a secure future here, okay? And I will come back to this card. So I have already seen this lovely card because I'd begun the reading before the mic went, but we're going to shuffle some more together. So spirit and the cards, what messages can you bring for people across the world today? I hope you're having a great day today, and if you're feeling a bit off kilter or not great, I send you lots of love and lots of healing, okay? And just to let you know, you're not alone. We're going to go for that one. Spirit is always with you. Okay, let's go on to the next pile. Shuffle this together. You're getting an extra card here. So spirit and the cards. What messages do you have for people across the world and guidance for them? Have you got any interesting events? I'm seeing the word events being given that. Have you got anything interesting coming up? Or anything that you are planning? This one's popped up, so we're going to go for that one. Just move them all over a bit so they're all in the shot there, and we will put these cards aside. Yeah, so when I realized, I was a bit annoyed, I'm not going to lie, I'd lost the sound and parts of the reading, the sound, and I didn't want to do a voiceover because I can't remember everything that I've said, and it doesn't feel very authentic. So I stopped, took a break, charged the microphones, charged my phone, and had a cup of tea with my oat milk and watched something that I find interesting, and then came back to it. And came back to it. So I think that's a lesson to myself and also to other people. Sometimes things can feel difficult and you feel like kind of giving up, or we're talking small scale to big scale. And it's okay to step away, whether it's a couple of hours, an hour, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, but it's about getting back up and dusting yourself off, okay? Right, I just felt I needed to reiterate that in your reading here. So let's tune in to your main card. And I know what they was giving me before and the message before, and they've just given it to me again, like the main words is like well done, and they're clapping. I see hands clapping, and it's celebrating all your hard work and your achievements and what you put into this. You may not quite be in this space, some of you. We have to remember it's a general reading for many people across the world, but the messages remain the same. this could be you are just in this space, or you're going to be in this space in the future. Okay, but what it's definitely going to be there, is the energy that I'm being given, and the thoughts and the feelings. So she has created, we see her castle in the background, her safety and her stability. Okay, and she's even sitting on a chest of gold here, and a chest of coins, all what she's collected, and she's holding on to this accumulation of abundance here, we can see. And this abundance can be, maybe it's you've started a family, whereas before you was quite on your own, so you now have a grown family, or in the future this family. It could be your business is taking off and doing really well, and you put, all this hard work and sweat and tears into getting there, and you thought it'd never happen, and here you are, with the rewards there. It could be a relationship that you and a partner have had to work really hard on, to get to a good space, and all of a sudden, it's going really well. That hard work has paid off. So whatever it is, it's just this positivity here. But what they are present on me is that some of you may be in fear of losing whatever it is that you've gained. Okay, and you're holding on. You can see she's holding on to these coins here, and that you're holding on a bit too. Sorry, I'm just looking at mine, not that you can see me, but if I pause, my cat's down there and I worry he's going to jump up and knock the cards off or the candle over. Getting back to this, so it's it could be sometimes you can hold on a bit too tight, and so tight for fear of losing this good thing. Okay, and then you're creating anxiety and fear and worry rather than enjoying the fruits of your labor, or these moments. We can all relate as parents. We may over worry about our children. When we finally in a stable space, we feel like, well, when am I going to lose it? It's that kind of thing. And then we're what they're showing is, in all these situations, you're taking away your joy, or enjoying these moments and enjoying the fruits of your labor and this abundance or this growth in whatever area of your life it is. So it's just like a kind of, release a bit, let go a bit, and you can relax now. I feel that she's in a relaxed space. There's plenty. You're not going to run out. Okay, it's not going to disappear, is what they're showing me here. Even if you may have lost certain things or situations in the past, it's just this reassurance coming in, this gentle reassurance around you for anyone has been worrying like that. Okay, which is beautiful. And they'd also drawn me in last time, and in one of the other cards, I think I just pulled, or just done for pile one, there was a key also connected to that. And it's about, you got the keys, you have the keys to your life and this abundance. And it's like the master key. I'm seeing the words master key. Okay. It's never going to be lost. It's never going to, that's yours to keep, for life, is what I'm being shown here. Okay, which card shall we go on to next? I think I'm going to go for this one. I had shuffled a different one for this pile, but I thought I'm just going to do another one for this particular pack for you. I'm sorry. Defenselessness. Writing past wrongs. Uprooting. And I've been drawn to the heart chakra here, okay? And we talked about fear of losing things and things going wrong again, like your fears around certain situations and holding on a bit too tight there. So I feel like people have wronged you, and haven't always been there, okay, and haven't always supported you in your life, your endeavors and things that you're doing. For some of you, it may be relatives that passed away heaven's side that are coming in with this like apology, okay, and to say, I'm sorry, and I'm sending my love, and I'm seeing the word forgiveness, hoping that you, at some point when you are ready, that you can forgive. It can be people on the earth plane that have wronged you. Maybe they're stepping in. I'm seeing the word history and past. Maybe they're stepping back into your life, now or soon, and apologizing and trying to make amends for things that they did wrong. Okay, it could be in the future, further in the future, they'll come back in to your life and realize where they went wrong and how they wasn't supporting you as much as you supported them. So you see these two people here bending down. It could be that both of you took a part to play in it, and you're both sorry, for what went on. It may never be the same again as it was, but if there was love there and there was true love there, you can come to a space of I'm seeing the words peace here. Okay, I'm just going to focus and see what else. But although it's that message, there feels a lot of brightness with it, and we saw these beautiful, beautiful, bright stars here, and I'm sure that was similar to the other card that I chose, as in the bright, bright stars kind of permeating out through the card there. And we see in the background this collection of people. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, it feels like this, whatever this situation is being surrounded heaven's side by lots of love. Okay, like a protective circle. I know it ends there, but I see it like wrapped all around these two people here. What message are you trying? What else are you trying to give me, please? I'm just going to focus. They're giving the word say sorry, and we do have sorry here. Say sorry. And forgiveness. Yeah, so look out for that. Maybe some of you need to, I'm not saying that you do, but there's always that possibility that you need to reach out, and or you're wanting to reach out to someone and say, sorry, they keep showing me this woman and I'm ignoring it, but I should just say it. You could be male, female, or non-identified, but this woman with a suitcase, and she's just up and she's just walking off, and she's just left, she's gone from whatever this situation is, and we've got uprooting here. She's left the situation. Okay, but it does feel this message may just be that, and you may know more the details to this. Not necessarily they always give me the exact message or answers to this, but I'm seeing someone write love over this card. Okay, love, lead with love and lead with your heart-made decisions. Once the anger dies down, or the frustration on the situation, or the tears, whatever this is. So it could be a relative, or an ex-partner, or something like that. But someone's very sorry here. Anything else before I move on to the next card? Forgive thyself. That's also important. Oh, I've just noticed there's two head shapes here underneath in the roots. This is like a deep-rooted situation, like literally. You are very connected to this person, whether they're heaven side or earth side. So it's not always easy to walk away, okay? Or for them to let you go. But yeah, I feel on the whole, it's someone coming forward to you for asking for forgiveness. Because there is this deep-rooted connection. It feels more like a blood connection, relative, but it could be friends, can be like our family, can't they? Or our partners can become like our family. So hold on to that, okay? And again, I've seen love, and I'm seeing the word written forgiveness now across this. So you'll know in your heart what it means here. Okay, let's move on to the next card. I'm going to go for this one. I know what this one is because I had already pulled this one earlier for you before the sound went. Okay. The Star. Oriole. I'm a farmer. Half farmer, half Irish accent. I can't pronounce that properly, but it doesn't matter. I'll put the phonetic spelling in there. You're about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism. Fear with hope, and joy is coming to roost. And I was talking about holding on too tight and that anxiety, because you're worried about losing something, okay? Or you're worried it's going to go wrong, or you're worried it's not going to stay, or, all those kinds of scenarios there. But here it is, it's giving you that worry will replace with optimism. What else, Spirit, can you give me? And here we see like the stream. And once it's flowing and it's flowing downstream, there's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. And this is just going to be, it's not going to dry up. It's going to be, we had the rain, which is stopped now at the beginning, okay? But this just feels like that pouring down on you. All this sort of good luck is the words that I'm seeing here. And it does feel light and bright in my heart. So this could be moving on from this as well. Part of this message could be, making amends with this person, okay? Part of this could be that kind of, I'm seeing a heart shaped over this and the words heart healing. So this could help make amends and heal your heart, okay? And if there are heaven's side, maybe it's writing them a letter, forgiving them is helping you to move forward, okay, as difficult as it can be, and releasing that. It can allow you to fly forward into this bright future here, okay? This beautiful blue butterfly here, and I'm seeing the word freedom. It gives you freedom, okay? Because you can imprison yourself in that pain. So maybe you could write a letter to them if they're heaven side, and just, or even if they're on the earth plane, but you can't give them that letter at this time, or you can't say those things for whatever situation. If there is any distance, maybe you can send them the letter, okay, as long as you write it through love and not anger, okay? If you can't, then you can write it and you can burn it and release it into the ether, and that will be part of this forgiveness and moving forward journey. But I see this, I'm seeing the word change coming in, and you're going from lack to lots of abundance, and maybe not such great luck to lots of good luck, and lots of, I'm seeing doors opening and choices. But you're the catalyst, you're the main driver behind this, okay? Your knowledge, your energy, your efforts being put in here. Anything else that you can give me, please, Spirit, and the cards? I'm just going to focus. Give me the words triumphant here as I close my eyes. Successful outcomes. Forward movement. Fruition, which have been shown a lot through this. Manifesting your future. Actions. Choices. Better choices. I say mark my words. That's usually as in mark my words, this will happen, this will happen. And again, heaven side, they're saying heaven side, so I do feel there's a lot of people heaven side, and we see here all these people in the background, which reminds me of like your heaven family in the background, sending in their positive energy and love and supporting you, okay, even if at times you do feel alone. And we have these lush green sort of lands here in the blue sky and the stars again. We have lots of stars here, and I felt, although it was a sad card, such a beautiful energy with this card, okay? And I'm seeing the word healing. Giving me manifest again. So that could be really helpful on your pathway. They've given me this before in readings. Is manifesting, okay? Before every action comes a thought. So our thoughts take us furthest to or further away from what we want. So our mind and the way we think does play a huge part in our own energetic field and our own energy bodies too. And it can make it easier to get to the points that we want to be to, rather than I'm seeing dragging our heels, because we're making it more difficult through fear or anxiety and all those kinds of ways of thinking. So we want to think more in a kind of positive manifesting mindset every day, okay? Big leap forward your life. How wonderful is that? I'm excited to know what your plans are, what you're doing, what's coming. Again, this could be around living environments, working environments, businesses, relationships, like the whole shebang there. You got the whole thing. Right, let's see. Oh, how lovely is that? Queen of Summer. compassionate, loving, giving, psychic swan. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened intuition that you can trust completely. Be mindful you don't ignore your own needs while caring for others. And I got it when I was doing it the first time. I think when the sound went about taking care of yourself, then I do remember that's ringing a bell now about looking after, yourself. And self-care, because when we're busy or we're running around, or we're thoughtful, caring people, we can forget about our own needs and wants and our own health. So remember to be mindful of that. Is there anything else? And we begin the word psychic, and most of you here who join me on these readings, I do feel are like a psychic bunch. Okay. But I feel on this reading and with this, lots of motherly energy coming into here for you. Okay. So if you've been in lack of that energy, it's bringing that in to lift you up and to nurture you. Okay. And we do have Mother's Day today on the day. These are timeless readings, but that's the energy that's being brought in here. And then show me like a swan. A swan can be like calm and serene on the outside, but underneath, she's paddling away there, and going quite fast, underneath. And I feel that there's a lot of depth to you, and there's a lot more to you than like meets the eye there. I think people underestimate you, actually, is what I'm being given here. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you can give me before I move on to the charms? Lucky. Maybe you haven't been so lucky. They're bringing in like that luck here. Okay, and we're talking about the fortune coming in and the abundance coming in. So maybe you've been, not very particularly lucky, or hadn't felt that. And here you are in this beautiful, beautiful place. Here is a majestic swan. So what a lovely energy to be in. And we have all the daisies. They look like fresh daisies to me, blooming in the background there. Okay, so it feels like a fresh new start, and a fresh new beginning. Anything else before I move on? It's coming. I'm just seeing the words, it's coming. It's coming. And I feel like a lot of you waited a long time for this, cried tears over this, dreamed of this. Okay, whatever this situation is for you, it's coming. Be patient, my child. It's coming. It's the words I'm seeing. How lovely is that? Right, it's some beautiful cards today. I'm going to go on to your charms. Oops, let's put the lid on. I'll shake with the lid on. Shimmy, shimmy, shake. I'm going to turn the other way so I can't see. It'd be lovely to get the swan. Let's see what we've got here. No way. No way. And I'm leaned over to the other side. I'm moving back now. No. Do you see that swan? What are the odds of that? And I don't pre-plan this. I don't try and pick out the ones I want. You can see there's all different ones in there. I don't do that because that will be pointless for me to do that. So that's amazing. And this looks like a little suitcase to me, as if, and I've seen that woman going off, packing a suitcase and leaving to sort of these fresh new starts and opportunities, and leaving something that isn't serving her very well. But the beautiful swan there is kind of reiterating this wonderful energy there. So here we've gone from one swan to two swans. Can you tell me anything else? Can you give me more information to end this reading on, please? Hope. Hope springs eternal. And I love it when they give me that. That is such a positive message. So, keep your hope, keep your faith in yourself as well. I think that's really important. And we touched on, self-care and looking after yourself. Okay. They're giving me otherworldly. I think a lot of you are otherworldly here. A final message, please, before we end this reading. As always, you've got this. And as always, I love it when they say that. You've got this. It's my favorite, or one of my favorite things, I think, that they say. Yeah, you've got this. Okay, pile reading number 2. This is the end of your reading today. You can go on to either of the other readings, because sometimes they like join up. Reading 1, the end of that was joining up to this one, I felt, in the card that I pulled there. Or you can just end it here and come back another day. But I feel this was so much love and so much light and so many blessings. And I will see you in your next reading. God bless. Hello, beautiful pile reading number 3, and welcome to your reading today. And you chose the wonderful, the wheel, well, I call it the wheel of fortune. As always, I'm going to go over the very basic meaning of the card. We're going to choose some cards together, and then as a spiritual medium, I'm going to tune in and see what messages spirit and the cards give me. So the very basic meaning of this card is destiny and luck and a turning point in your life and karmic lessons, opportunities, cycle of life and change, all about change coming and change of pathway. Absolutely love that card for you. All right, we're going to shuffle some cards together. So spirit and the cards. What messages do you have? Oh, that popped up, so we're going to go for that one. That came out quite quickly, which is nice. I hope you've all had a good day today. If it hasn't, if it's been a bit of higgledy-piggledy or one of those, I send you lots of love today, okay? I hate the thought of anyone having a bad day. Okay, spirit in the cards, what messages can you bring for the lovely community of people we have from all countries across the world that I'm probably sadly never going to get to see, but I kind of feel part of them by the fact that you're here in a weird way, like energetically. It's crazy as that sounds. Okay. Oh, that one popped up, so we're going to go for this one. Lovely. Let's just put them over there out the way. And again, excuse me, I'm covered in cat hairs. Been having lots of snuggles with my cat Jupiter today, which has been lovely. He's been a good boy today. Okay, so we went over the very basic meaning. So I'm going to tune in and see what messages. And I'm feeling quite humorous with this, and I don't know why I'm feeling quite humorous. Okay, it was almost like I want to laugh out loud. I want to laugh. So I don't know if some of you have not been having much laughter. Maybe some of you have been having lots of laughter. But it's just like, when it's almost like you shouldn't laugh, but you want to laugh. And it's a struggle to hold it in. And it's just like releasing that laugh, probably in the most inappropriate place or moment, is kind of what they're pressing on me here too. They give me the words joy, joy. Bring forth joy. Okay, and we have this wheel here, and this is beautiful bright and orange light, and I'm closing my eyes and I'm seeing like the sun and the yellow and warmth on my face. Okay, and seeing a woman, you could be male, female, and non-identifying, it doesn't matter, but standing with their face to the sun, and basking in it. And they're showing me like you have with solar panels, like recharging. And I know the weather hasn't been great in some countries, especially like the UK, but it's like more than that. It's about recharging. This woman's recharging her batteries, gaining her energy. Okay, they show me a window, and then she's opening a window, and again this beautiful breeze is coming onto her face. It's very much as we're going into spring and then summer, and it's all that energy coming in, and things are moving. They're giving me the words moving and change, and my hand just wants to spin around, as everything is changed. And they're giving me the word cycles, and this is the card to connect with the cycles of life. Okay, they show me patterns, and we do have like they say, is it 7 years or 12 years that you have a pattern or a certain phase in your life, and then it completely changes and the energy, and you change or you regenerate. I think I had that in a reading before. Your cells regenerate almost completely, not every part of your body, but I'm sure I read that somewhere. You can research that yourself and find that out. I may pop that in there if I have time this evening. They're giving me the word completion and completion of a cycle. Okay, how lovely is that? But this is smiling, and I'm smiling as I'm looking at the card. Can you give me more specific messages? Again, this can be related to all different areas of life and facets of life, relationships, work, environments where you live. It could be smaller scale things, something's going on around you, it can be all things, but the message remains the same. It could be male, female, non-identifying. It doesn't matter. Okay, they often show me images just to show the message. Can you show? Oh, they show me a woman in this white dress. It almost looks like a prom dress, slightly. Okay, and she's in this big fancy garden. There's all those well manicured hedges, and she's kind of jumping around and running for joy, and she's having a great time, and she's like celebrating. Whatever this is, it's a celebration, and she's part of these celebrations. Okay, so maybe you have an event coming up that you've been invited to. I know I'm going to one at the end of May. I'll be going to, it's very important, friend's wedding, but maybe some of you have like birthdays, engagements of other people's, but it could also be your own, because I'm seeing like this woman in this white dress, and there's no sleeves on it, and it looks quite summery, and it's sunny. So yeah, maybe some of you are getting married around that time. I did have a big phase of readings where there's bringing up marriages a lot, and they haven't for a long time. Okay, so that's lovely to see there. Lots of celebrations, and in the UK we would get married a lot around those months because the weather's improving. Okay, most people want a summer wedding or a spring wedding here. And they show me bunny rabbits jumping on this lawn, jumping around. Okay, so it's like rebirth and renewal here that I'm seeing. So this could be a literal event, or it just could be metaphorically that they're showing me the shift in energy and the change in yourself. This woman looks really happy and vibrant, and she's dancing around in this dress along the pathway and then on the grass and everything. They give me the words, you have arrived. So whatever this situation is, it's like you feel you're finally there, you finally made it. Okay, and it's a great feeling. And they want you to absorb every moment of this and this achievement in your life, or this change in your life. Anything else that you can give me before we move on to the next card? I don't know why they're giving me authority figure. Why are you giving me authority figure? You are the authority figure in your life. You are the one who got you here, who navigated you here. And I always see this as like a ship's wheel, and steering you into these new places, these new shores, these new adventures, these new opportunities. I feel very much you are the authority over your life. Okay, is what they're showing me here. You have the authority. You have the final say, is the words that I'm seeing here. You make the decisions in your life. So if you've ever felt repressed in a way, sorry, I said that a bit strange. They're taking that away, and you're in control here, in control of which paths you take. And she's running along a path as well as onto the lawn or if you want to deviate from that path, you left, right, forward, backwards. She's kind of running everywhere, okay? Right, now I've seen loads of balloons. She's holding on to these balloons and she's releasing them into the sky. I'm not suggesting you do that for environmental reasons unless you get special balloons, but this is just what they're showing me here. Okay. It's a release, but a celebration at the same time in her life. I'm just watching this woman here in my third eye. Now she's jumping into an air balloon. How strange is this? Where's this going? And the air balloon is going up and up, and I can see the flames on the air balloon. You know, that's how they get it to go up and fill the balloon part with the hot air, don't they? She's rising and she's rising. And she's looking down, and it's like a higher up perspective, a different perspective, but she's moved away from the ground now. She's like in the stratosphere and above it all, flying. Maybe some of you are literally going on an air balloon ride. How wonderful would that be? But it's like you're away in the clouds, you're away flying high, you're away in this feeling of happiness and yeah, it's like a strange one, but a good strange visuals that I'm seeing. I should just trust it and not try and work it out so much. I'm going to move on to the next card and see if anything else comes through. We're going to go for this one. Beautiful. Hereath. I don't know what that means. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. I often feel homesick for another planet. And then we did see this woman flying up, and I'm not suggesting that I'm going to be flying up to another planet anytime soon, but we see this, it looks like a female, doesn't it, there on top of something here. Can you see? And she's up in the sky and she's up in the universe. And I see this woman going up, up and up. What else can you give me? This is very interesting. Again, they're giving you have arrived. You have arrived. It's almost like a bit of a mysterious reading, this one. You know, it's unknown, so maybe it's more about, well, we can't quite tell you or give you all the details, but the energy around it is beautiful and the feelings around it are beautiful, and almost like mesmerizing as you look here into the universe. It's all these beautiful pinks and purples and all these comforting feelings, okay? And see there was a better place. So whatever this situation is, you're going to be, you know, in a better place. It's going to be above and away from how you were feeling before and thinking before, and maybe certain environments you're in before were no good for you or they were bringing you down. But here you are, kind of risen above the whole thing and looking at everything from a completely different perspective here. And that kind of links into pile number 1 there, and it's talking about perspectives, and you have arrived, and pile 2 was about like achieving things, okay? So with this message of you have arrived, it feels like I feel quite relaxed when I'm looking at this card and the energy with this card too, which would make sense, and with the sun shining on my face as well. What else can you give me with this mysterious card and readings? Give me the words free flowing, organic. I don't really like using that word, but the words organic as well. Unfolding, so letting things unfold, okay. But it does feel, yeah, like a completely different planet, completely different way of being and thinking and relating to the world around you, and all kinds. You know, you may completely change your worldview, how you dress, your health, what you eat, where you live. Could be that extreme. It may not be. It may be on a smaller scale. But it's definitely a positive outcome and a positive place that you're going to be in if you're not there already, or if it's an area of your life you're thinking about I'm seeing going into. I'm seeing a car now driving forward. Okay, there's this woman in a car. It's that same woman in a car and she's driving forward. I'm seeing the words on the back of the car, happiness, and I'm seeing, you know, like some weddings on the car, they tie cans and they go along behind the car. So it's definitely a celebration, but you're celebrating yourself. You're celebrating all what you've achieved in your life and how well you've done. I'm not necessarily, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be a partner there, but I feel it's like a celebration of you. I'm just seeing a huge pink heart. So maybe some of you haven't particularly loved yourselves. It's about getting in that space. Yeah, this is a bit mystical, this reading. Let's go on to your final card. Oh, how beautiful is that renewal? Well, that fits perfectly with this new space and this new way of being and this new way of seeing things and this new perspective, and with this beautiful pink and purple butterfly here flying free. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what is to come. And we're talking about that, and there's path. We're talking about you're on the path, the most divinely suited. And I see that woman running on this path and then running over this lush green grass in this beautiful setting. Okay, so that really links in there. How beautiful these 3 raccoons there. And renewal, which is very much a sense of what I was getting in parts of the reading. What else can you give me here, Spirit, before I go into the charms? They're giving me number 3, and we obviously have 3 raccoons here. They're giving me 3 cycles. So some of you may be of a certain age, you've gone through 3 cycles in your life, or 3 different distinct phases in your life here. And this will be, the next one will be the best phase to come, okay? Which will be the most peaceful phase to come. I'm feeling a lot of peace as I look at this card here and these raccoons and this beautiful butterfly. I'm seeing this woman in a car again. It's a red car now. What are you trying to show me with the car? She's driving off down this road and there's all these mountains beside her. And they give me the word freedom. Freedom of thought. Freedom to live however she wants to live. So maybe some of you have been feeling a bit constrained and trapped. I don't know if I've already said that and covered that in any of the readings today, but this is what I'm being given here, possibly again. So apologies if I'm doubling up there, but I just have to give what I'm being given. What else can you give me? They're giving me new shores, and I'm seeing a boat, and this woman's getting onto a boat now. Okay, I'm seeing all this in my third eye as I look at this card. And she's got this fancy white dress on still, and then she's got this white billowing scarf around her neck. And she's looking around, and she looks really serene, and the sea that I can see is really calm. There's no waves. It's just a really clear sea. So we've got this clear thinking and this clarity. So maybe you in a space or coming from a space that's been confused or unsure or very turbulent, but you're going into these calm seas, this calm energy and this calm water and this loving energy and this self-love. I think is really important for this pile here. They join me into the word renewal. So it's going to be like a whole new you, a whole new way. Like everything is just changing. I feel like it's just, I'm seeing the word upheaval, but it's a good upheaval. It may feel difficult at the time, but it's important to this renewal and this new beginning, which I'm sure is given in some of the other piles as well, which again, they can link up. Is there anything else before we go into the charms? Yeah, they're just giving me have faith again. And I think I feel like I'm repeating myself, but if these readings are linking up, they're linking up. Have faith in yourself, your abilities, okay? Your creativity, your what you have to say to the world and what you have to put out into the world. Have faith and confidence. But this woman I'm seeing, she's serene, but she's confident, she's happy. So if you're not in that space, I'm seeing that in the future for you. Again, male, female, non-identified, it doesn't matter. The message is the same there. How beautiful is that? I'm seeing the word family. So this could be, future creating your own little family with someone there. And families can look different in all ways, They don't have to be your typical male, female, two children, or there can be same-sex relationships, could be family you've adopted, could be your pet family, your animal family around you that feel like the ones that bring you that peace and that joy and that love. Can look different for all of you, but it's very much this huge hug that I'm feeling, a warmth from the universe in this reading, so I want to send that your way. How lovely is that? Let's take your charm. Give me a shake, give me a shake. And I'm going to turn the other way as I swivel them about. Shake it all about. And then I'm going to take some out. Okay, what we got? We have got, wow. We have this one. I always see as, if you watch my other readings, as the Wheel of Fortune. Could be a clover, but I often read it as the Wheel of Fortune, so that perfectly matches up here. Okay, again, it's about steering your own ship and making your decisions on your life and where you want to be. Okay, moving away perhaps from others that have tried to hold you back. And definitely this woman is about being free and independent and happy. Okay, it's really being pushed forward here in the message. That's lovely to have that reiterated there with the lucky charm, lucky clover, but I definitely see this one as the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and the different cycles here we have. I don't know if we have the same amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, it's not the same amount, but it doesn't matter. I can't count, obviously. We have the beautiful turtle here, and that's about swimming free, and being out there and just diving straight in. And I was seeing this woman, they're showing me, reminded me, on the boat and on the clear sea there. Okay, and I'm now seeing turtles swimming underneath her, joining in on this journey. And it just feels so magical and so different from what was before, I feel. Okay, they give me the words strength and endurance. And turtles, they can swim in some turbulent waters. Okay, and they've definitely got the strength to push through. Excuse me. Push through all this, whatever it is that may have been kind of bogging you down a bit. Okay, and I just see freedom, the words being reiterated and repeated here. Go forward, beautiful one, go forward. How lovely is that? Sorry, turtle, I've just thrown you upside down. Let's put you back up. There you go. What a lovely reading. So I thank Spirit and the cards today. I thank all of you for joining me here for this reading today, or readings if you watched more than one of them. And I feel this with so much love and so much light and so many blessings. And I will see you in the next reading. God bless.